Question number 17 was, from being net food importer in 1960s, India has emerged as a net food exporter to the world. We have to provide the reasons, and the word limit was 250 words, and it was a 15-mark question. So first of all, why they have mentioned the year 1960s? Why not some other year? The reason was the Green Revolution. It was due to the Green Revolution in 1966. Green Revolution in the year 1966. So we have to analyze the question from the perspective of Green Revolution. So we all know that he is the father of Green Revolution, Professor M.S. Swaminathan sir. So let's solve this question. First of all, what was the background? Why they have asked this question? This is Srimati Indira Gandhi ma'am, and this is US President Lyndon. US President Lyndon and Indian Prime Minister Srimati Indira Gandhi. So before Green Revolution, we have imported a lot of food grains from UPSC. So it was highly criticized by Indians. Why we were importing a lot of food grains from other countries, especially from US. So it was imported under the scheme. The scheme name was PL 480 scheme. PL 480 scheme, and we have imported from US around 16 million tons of wheat and 1 million tons of rice were imported. And this activity of Srimati Indira Gandhi ma'am's government was highly criticized by India. So the disbursement was around $1 billion worth of food grains. And the term they have used to mention the import was ship to mouth. Ship means import, and to mouth means the food grains that we have imported from other countries. So it was highly criticized by the opposition party in India. So let us see a few things about Green Revolution and what are the components of it. Green Revolution, actually, before Green Revolution, we have the traditional varieties. But the problem with these traditional varieties were they were tall and easily lodging. So what the team of Professor M.S. Swaminathan sir and others, what they have did was they have introduced the semi-dwarf genes from the varieties imported from Simit, Mexico and Erie, Philippines for rice. The Green Revolution, as I have mentioned, the Green Revolution was introduced in India by Professor M.S. Swaminathan sir in the year 1960s. So the traditional tall varieties were having the problem of lodging. So that's why they have introduced the high yielding and semi-dwarf varieties of rice and wheat. In rice, it was introduced from Erie, Philippines, and in wheat, it was introduced from Simit, Mexico. So what are the characters and how the yield was increased? So number one is improved irrigations. Through the canals, we have introduced the irrigation to different parts of our country, especially the northwestern region. And the fertilizers, the synthetic fertilizers that we have used, especially urea, have increased the yield of rice and wheat. And the third component is use of chemicals. The chemicals, especially the insecticides, were used to kill the insects. So thereby it has increased the yield of food grains. And wheats were mainly responsible for the drastic reduction in yield. So one of the major component of Green Revolution was the introduction of synthetic chemicals to control the weeds. Credit. The fourth component was credit. These credit were given to farmers at a very low interest. So one more aspect which we can discuss is the synergy between the scientific community and the politicians. So the Prime Minister at that time was Srimati Indira Gandhi ma'am, and the Agriculture Minister at the time was C. Subramaniam sir. So their synergy between the scientific community and the politician have resulted in an increase in our production. In 1968, Indira Gandhi, the then Prime Minister of India, released a specialized stamp. Released a special stamp. This was that stamp. It was released for Green Revolution, especially the wheat revolution in India. So what are the varieties that were responsible for Green Revolution? So especially there were the varieties were, as I have mentioned earlier, the varieties were introduced from CIMIT in Mexico for wheat. And for rice, it was introduced from IRRI, Philippines. What are the areas where the Green Revolution was introduced? It was introduced in the Western UP. It was introduced in the Western UP region and the Delhi and adjoining Haryana region and the Punjab area. So these are the region where the Green Revolution was initially introduced. And apart from that, the parts of Andhra Pradesh area was also under the Green Revolution. So the wheat varieties that was introduced were Sonara 64, Lermoroga 64A, Kalyan Sona and Sonalika. So some of them were introduced directly and some of them were introduced after selections. The rice varieties that were introduced from IRRI, Philippines were IR8. IR8, a semi-dwarf rice variety developed from IRRI, Philippines, have contributed a lot towards our self-sufficiency. So how the production was increased after 1960s? So initially, before the introduction of Green Revolution, the wheat production was 11 million tonnes and the rice production was around 35 million tonnes. But if you see after these were the increasing trend because of the Green Revolution. After the Green Revolution, you can see in the year 2020 around 109 million tonnes we have reached in wheat and 120 million tonnes we have reached in rice. If you see the present scenario, if you see the 2023 data, so we have reached around 111 million tonnes in wheat, around 111 million tonnes in wheat and 136 million tonnes in rice. Almost we can say 10 times, more than 10 times increase in wheat. So we will see the present scenario. We were exporting the produce, we were exporting the food grains to various parts of the country. Nearly 140 countries were benefited from our production. So India was the biggest rice exporter and it contributes nearly 40% of the global rice trade. It exports 22 million tonnes. It exports 22 million tonnes worth of US dollar 9.66 billion to 140 countries. Not only it was fulfilling our own need, but it was also exporting the production to various parts of the world. The country has exported wheat worth of rupees 11,728 crore in the fiscal year 2023. This was the data given in PIB, Press Information Bureau. So that's it. Thank you. Please subscribe the channel to get more updates. Thank you.